Hey everybody, what's up? If you don't know who I am, my name is OhChev. I'm expecting a lot of you guys to be new viewers. This is MLB the Show 22 on Switch, on the Nintendo Switch, so I'm expecting a couple new viewers. So just in case you don't know me, that's who I am. If you do know who I am and you're watching this video, what's up? You guys know what we're about here. I'm just going to go through a simple settings breakdown for the Switch. It's the first year on this console. I got the game, physical copy for the Switch, put that little chip right in my thing, and I'm playing MLB the Show, and that's crazy, man. That is nuts to me. As someone who loves the Switch and plays it quite frequently, to be able to play MLB the Show, one of my favorite games, on this console for the first time, it's pretty crazy. So if you guys are new players to the game entirely, or if you're, familiar with the game but new on the Switch, I got you. Let's break it down. So if you're at the main menu of MLB the Show 22, this is what it looks like. Go up here, top right, settings. Click on that, go to settings. Now, I already loaded up the game, so it asked me what difficulty I wanted to play on, or what settings preset, I should say. I picked competitive, that is for an experienced player. Pick accordingly, for sure. Definitely go about that the right way. Then, go to gameplay, the first category. Now, hitting difficulty, I play on Legend, so I just picked Legend because I'm familiar with it. Start wherever you want to start. If you want to start low, start mid, start up. You want to have dynamic on to increase as you play and as you get better. Fine. Cool with that too. Whatever you guys want to do, that's up to you. Now, hitting view. I go strike zone high. It's personally a good view for me. Strike zone is behind the dish. It's essentially from the perspective of like the catcher umpire. I like strike zone high. It's a little bit more zoomed out and upward than other strike zone camera angles. And I like a little bit of a zoomed out FOV when I play video games. So that's up to me. I will show you guys what that looks like in game shortly. In play view offense. Dynamic. Now, I have dynamic on. I want to see if a guy pimps the ball. I want to see him hit it and pimp it from home plate. I want to see the ball carry from the perspective of someone who's watching it fly from home plate. Now, if you want to see it from like an overhead angle where you can kind of get a better read on if the ball's going to drop or not, I do recommend going on high, but I personally like dynamic. It's up to you guys. Now, ball trail. This is for daytime. You can do ball trail on, off, or for daytime games only. That's that little yellow trail that follows the ball as it's hit off the bat. I personally don't need it or think it. I think it's kind of goofy looking, so I never have it on. But if people do have it on, I see it's usually during daytime only. So as you see, it's one of the options. I have it off. Hitting interface, I have it on zone. That is where you use the left stick to move around your PCI, the indicator, the reticle, and then you press a button to hit. That's input type for me. I have input type on buttons. I think zone interface, so where you move around that little graphical reticle, that little graphic, you move that around, and then you press the buttons with input type to hit. I think that is the best. That is the best way to hit. Most consistent. Most play. It's the meta, guys. It's the meta. Most good players, people who are familiar with the game, use this combo. Now, it's not saying you can't use other ones, but directional, where it's just buttons and you don't aim your thing. You don't aim your PCI. It's very it's RNG, hit or miss. It's very up to chance. Not very good. Your ceiling is very capped. You can't get much better. I don't have an analog. Analog is where you could use the right stick to flick towards the ball. Like if you're striding at it, you can time your stride. It's not great, guys. It's not reliable. I think it's just easier. Basic way to hit zone interface. Use the PCI, input type, buttons. You guys will see what that means in a second. Camera shift on. I have this on. Okay, that's for directional. I do not even use that, so it doesn't matter to me. If you guys use directional, this essentially is on. The camera shifts to the side of the plate you're focusing on with directional. Off, the camera remains stationary. So it's up to you guys, man. Like I said, I really, really, really do recommend using zone. PCI Anchor. That is a new system that if you're not familiar with, I will link a video in the description below of me breaking down the PCI Anchor. Long story short, it is basically a place where you can lock your PCI depending on which quadrant of the zone you want to lock it in. Wherever you lock it, it's tighter, more strict movements in that area, and it's looser to other parts of the plate. Essentially, almost like a sensitivity. It allows you to focus on one particular area. If you want a more in-depth explanation of this and breakdown with visual cues in terms of gameplay, check out the video in the description. So, PCI Anchor dots, that's having it on or off, all that stuff. That's cool. I could turn it off. You can turn it off too if you don't want to. You can go by eye or go by feel. I don't really know. PCI Anchor to me seems like a feature for newer players. I do recommend it for the Switch if you're starting out. So really, guys, go to the PCI Anchor video if you're a new player, and I promise you I'll break it down for you as well as it can be broken down, at least in my opinion. PCI on, plate coverage indicator. It stands for that little reticle you're hitting with zone. Now, what is the PCI? Essentially, it's been explained as it is where the hitter is looking. It's not the barrel of the bat, it is where the hitter is looking. Check that out. You guys will see it soon when we're hitting. PCI center, circles. I got circles on. It's all, this right here, guys, is all preference. We'll get further into it when we're actually in the game, but this is what I'm rocking with. I have circles for this PCI center. PCI inner is wedge. PCI outer, I have none. You guys will see what that means in a second. Cyan is the color I picked. This is total preference. All these colors you can pick. All these wonderful colors. I go with cyan. Popular ones, yellow. I've seen some black and whites and maybe some reds, but really it's kind of like I see a lot of yellows. I see a lot of cyans actually, and some yellows. Some whites. Excuse me. PCI transparency. So basically, just how transparent the color is. I like it 50%. I don't want to see it like I don't want it to like my eyes to magnetize it and always stare at it. I don't want it to be distracting, but I want it to be able to be there. I want to see it with my peripheral. So 50% is good for me. PCI fade out on outer, but that does not matter at the moment because I have no outer PCI on. So that aside, let's move on from hitting. I'll break it down better. You guys will see what I'm talking about. We'll go back into it once we're actually hitting. So now on to pitching. Difficulty, like I said, this is just for when you're playing against computers. Don't pay attention to that now. Pick whatever difficulty you guys believe you should be playing on. Interface. This is where it gets a little tricky. This is pinpoint interface. This is the most difficult of the pitching interfaces, but it is the most rewarding. I will show you guys what that looks like in game, in practice mode, but I won't give a full breakdown of that. I have a pinpoint explanation video coming out soon. I have an entire pitching tips video where we'll get really in depth with that. But essentially, pinpoint, it's analog based with the right analog. You do essentially a generated motion that's respective to each pitch. They each have their own different motion, and as close as you can get it to 100% accurate, the better the pitch will be. That's a very, very basic breakdown of it, but you guys will see soon in practice mode. Pulse meter display is not, it doesn't matter. I'm not using pulse. I do not recommend pulse. I recommend pinpoint, guys, for everybody, and if you're not good at it, practice. It is totally worth it. It is the most intuitive and most rewarding pitching interface, in my opinion. If you have to do something else, I recommend analog, but I really, really, really would use pinpoint over anything else. Pitching view. I recommend pitching from the same view you hit at, because that's it. If you're interested in being a competitive player, being really, really good at this game, it gets your eyes used to the same angles both ways. You don't have to get adjusted. You kind of get really familiar. It helps you become a better hitter when you're pitching from that angle, and vice versa. You just get used to patterns and trends. Trust. I was a hater. I used to pitch from behind the pitcher because it's normal. It's what we're used to. I do strike zone high now because that's where I hit, and it made me a much better pitcher. Next, pitching ball marker. I have pitch trail on. It shows you the break of the pitch. Just little, like, I guess, like, sort of like a display that shows you what it would look like. It's very rough, but I have it on. I just like the way it looks, but you could have it pitch trail on. You could have the pitch trail fade away as you're getting ready to throw it. You can have it off entirely. Classic on, which is just a little ball, the baseball. And classic fade, which is the little baseball that fades away as the pitch goes in. I personally like pitch trail on. You get a little bit of a vision of what the break's going to look like. A visual indicator, if you will. Pitch confidence is on. Yes, if you have this on, you will see the pitcher's confidence as you pitch. I'm not sure if that's a new setting or not. I kind of just leave that on because I like to know the pitcher's confidence. I think this is just offline settings for now, but leave that on. Pitch delay. This is very important. This is the pacing of the CPU's pitchers and how fast they throw. Basically like pace of play. I have this on faster. Ain't nobody want to watch a pitcher go through their motion for 10 minutes. And it's the pacing. It's how quickly they'll throw the next pitch and how quick they move. Very, very, very highly recommended. Honestly, one of the most important settings to have on. Last year, I didn't have it on for a very long time, thinking I did. I felt so stupid. API, this is adaptive pitching intelligence to on, off, or default. It displays pitch suggestions through the catcher. It's basically a catcher calling your pitches. If you want. I don't have it on. It's up to you. It's a little distracting. I don't have it on. Fielding, and very important, button accuracy. This is the only way to field. Guys, I know pure analog says that it's a way you could throw. No. Button accuracy. Trust me, it is the easiest. It has a little meter from the field. It's the easiest, the most intuitive to use, and it's the most consistent one. Trust. Road to the show throwing interface. Show time is weird. You do this like slow motion type thing where like you have to like time it up. I don't like it. I like buttons. Button accuracy, excuse me. It's the same thing. You still get all the cool animations in Road to the Show, but it's not difficult. And it's not vibrating or weird. And there's like this weird, like, this like resistance mechanic to the trigger. It just makes no sense. Trust me. Just try button accuracy if you play Road to the Show. I don't play too much of that, but I might be this year. As the way the ball players work this year is a little bit different. Throwing meter, have it on. You need this on. If you don't have your throwing meter, you don't even know what the heck's going on. The meter, it's just going to be random. Have it on. Control your throws. Be in charge of the accuracy of your fielder's throws. Fielding this decision is assist. The game will move your field. Basically, you want to keep this on. So, what assist can be described as is this. If you're a third baseman, when the ball's cracked off the bat, it's like your third baseman starts moving at it already if it's kind of near them, and then you kind of take over. You need it. Otherwise, that's how you get these auto dives. That's how you get these locked animations on hard hit balls, and how you get these good breaks. If you have it auto, that you'll never be able to control your guy. The CPU will do it all for you. And if you have it off, which I think, oh no, you can't. Auto is CPU completely fields the ball for you. It's assist automatically in online play. It gives you a little bit like a sort of like an aim assist for fielding, which you need. You can't play this game without it. You won't be able to field the ball. You need it. You need this fielding assist. Now, if you want to talk about should auto dives be nerfed a little bit, that's a whole other discussion, and we'll get into that at some point soon later on this year. Throwing decision. When set to on, the CPU will automatically throw the ball for you. No. Off. That's nice and simple for you guys. In play view defense. I have it on high. I will go through all the camera angles for hitting, fielding, and pitching after I go through the settings, and you guys will see what I'm talking about. But I used to play dynamic with this. I like high. It is above, really high up on the field. You get the best reads on balls hitting the gaps. You have a better view of like when the runner's running on the bases, like if he's turning second base, will you have a good chance at throwing him out of third base, or should you focus on the runner that's lagging behind him, or vice versa if there's a runner in front? It helps you a lot better. It helps you get a lot better at reading plays and knowing what's really going on. Trust me. That's if on defense, it's very, very important. Throw canceling. Turn this on. If you make a mistake, you can cancel the throw. Say you press circle to throw to first base, or I'm sorry, this is the switch. So if you throw, oh Jesus Christ, if you throw to first base, I don't know the buttons. Press the other throw. If you're throwing to first base by mistake and you want to throw to second base, actually, you could press the button to throw to second after you've already pressed the throw to first, and you'll do like a pump fake and then throw to second base. And if you hit left L1, this thing up here, this button right here, and look at my little Pikachu controller. If you hit L right here, I believe, I still have some trouble figuring this out myself. I believe if you're trying to throw to first base, but you don't want to actually throw the ball, you change your mind, you press L1, and I believe it results in a pump fake. Don't hold me to that. We'll give it a shot. I think it's accurate. Now, one button dive and jump. It enables one button control for both diving and jumping. I do not like that. I have it off. This is jump, while this is dive. Jump, dive, jump, dive on the right side of the controller. That's just me going off PlayStation, guys. Like I said, I'm still getting used to the Switch myself, but it's the same. It works the same. You don't want it all one button. It gets really confusing. Two buttons is good because sometimes you want to jump, not dive, obviously. Auto infield jump reaction, auto infield dive reaction, on and on, obviously. All the help you can get on defense, take it. Catch position indicator. Now, drifting ball is the one I like. It's the classic baseball that kind of starts off big and shrinks as the ball comes in. I like that one. It looks the best. It just makes the most sense to me. Track ball is this little blue line that shows you the path that you should run to it. It's a little weird. I don't think it's very... I guess it's the most intuitive technically, but I don't really like it. I don't like the way it looks. I think it's a little wonky, so I prefer drifting ball. It's personal preference, but definitely one of the two. Don't turn it off. You need to know where the ball's going to land. Defensive shift, I have this on manual. Now, do you want to shift on automatically for players that have the shift, or do you want to have the shift only up to you to decide when you want to put it on? I like the shift off. I don't like letting up weird hits. I like my defense lining up normally. If a guy's bunting or if they have a certain way of hitting, I'll change it, but rarely do I ever use a shift. I prefer to not let up fluky hits, because if you let up, most of the time, if you're shifted, you let up a lot of bad hits. The hits, you're going to let up a lot of bad hits. If you're in a normal position with your fielders, you're not going to let up too many bad hits in this game. You let up a couple, but there's some really bad hits that I've gotten personally with the shift on, where I break my bat and it's a triple down the right field line because there's nobody there because they're shifting me. So, important. Off the wall ribbon. I have it off. It turns the wall ball path ribbons on or off. The ribbon displays the path of the ball after it hits the outfield wall in the air. It scales in length based on your player's overall fielding ability. So I believe this is sort of like reading the carom. I don't know why I have this off. I might put this on to try it out. To me, it reads like carom. Like it's the carom off the wall. It shows you where the ball's going to bounce. I'm going to give this a shot. If that's the case, very important. Put that on. It's very helpful. Now, on to general settings. Gameplay style. I have a competitive. Competitive means user stick skill reigns supreme, less RNG as opposed to other basic modes. When playing in an online head-to-head game, this is the setting that will be applied regardless of your local setting choice. So essentially, competitive is like taking the bumpers down when you're bowling. You really want it to be about skill as opposed to RNG. Fielding aids. I have this off. It's online gameplay. It's not even on. So as far as I'm aware, guys, when it comes to playing the game, I like to have as many things replicate online gameplay as possible. So I have this off. Route to ball indicator is obviously off as well. Base, like all this stuff is like basic stuff that isn't online. So I have it off. Just me. Player name display, I have this on. You want to see your players' names underneath your guys' icons? Put it on. It's a new thing this year. I like it. Strike zone, obviously need to have that on. You want to know where the strike zone is. Hot zones, I have that off. Doesn't really help, and it's kind of distracting. Doesn't really mean anything, so I turn that off. Wind, this is not online, but if you're playing offline, turn this off. Guys, wind is so corny. If the wind's blowing out, everything goes over the fence. It's really dumb. If the wind's blowing in, everything get crushed, stays in. It's really silly. They took wind out of online gameplay in 19 because it was too annoying, and it was really just not good gameplay. So warm-up relievers, you want that on. Dynamic difficulty updates. The setting will display your dynamic difficulty progress only when you're promoted. Okay, so if you play dynamic difficulty, sure, have this on. Important. I recommend, unless you're an extremely new player, to not play dynamic. But if you are a new player, definitely use dynamic difficulty when you're playing offline. It'll help you scale how much better you're getting at the game as you play. Vertical camera movement standard. Select the vertical camera movement. Yeah, you don't want inverted controls. Yeah, keep these on the vertical and horizontal camera movement, guys. Keep it on standard. You do not want to have inverted controls. I don't know who plays video games with inverted controls. They're in a lot of video games. I don't know anyone who does that. If you do, you're a psycho. Sorry. Tutorial tips. I have that off. If you're a new player and you want tutorial tips, turn it on. Very simple. And then you could even pick which ones you want on. Guys, it's all about what you want to do. At this point of the settings, I give you a little bit of a guidance for what I do and why I do it. But when it comes to things that are really a little bit out of my my range because I don't play at those levels, it's up to you. So feel it out. Post-game autosave on. That's I guess pretty cool. No reason not to have it on. When you have it when on, mode data will be saved after exiting each game and returning to the front end. Yeah, when off, data will not be saved. Yeah, I mean autosave, guys. If you like autosave, use it. If you don't, and if you don't know what autosave is, you're not familiar with that feature, it's pretty self-explanatory, but I'm sure you guys have played video games before. So a lot of Nintendo Switch games have autosave. That's basically all the settings. Now, as I back out, it's going to say apply changes. Oh, excuse me. Back in there. That was just gameplay. Let's go to presentation. I have it on fast play. That is skipping cutscenes. You want the games to move as fast as possible. Pretty simple. I have that on. Pitch selection cameras. Pitching only. Pitch selection, camera focus, I have it on all. All will use all angles available, while batter, pitcher will only use those views. So that's just for presentation purposes. This is really not that. This is kind of like niche. Pitch selection, camera frequency, high leverage moments. Sure, this is all like offline stuff, guys. Batter walk-ups, if you want that on. In-game ticker, same thing. This is all presentation. I believe it's for offline simulation games, if I'm not mistaken. Most of it, at least. Let's get into audio video. I'll show you guys my settings so that when I play the game, guys, I will have this commentary on to start, because I want to feel it out. There's a new commentary system this year, new booth, new voices. So I'm going to get used to it. But mostly what I do is all of this is all the way down, usually. Except for sound effect volumes. I have it maxed out because it makes the game sound cool. Cracks of the bats are louder, plays are louder. It's really, really dope. But to start the year, I'm going to get used to everything. I'm going to have the commentary up just a little bit. I stream and record, so the commentary gets kind of distracting sometimes. So it will be very...
yeah, man.
Actually, no, I'm going to turn it all the way down because I do stream and record. I don't want that on. So we will have this down all the way. And crowd volume, I'll keep it on a little bit. If it gets distracting, I'll turn it off. But I personally, this is just all your own personal preference. But I do like playing with just sound effects all the way up and everything else down. Music, so I don't get copyrighted. But also other reasons being, I don't like, if you're me, I played 58 days last year and I'm with the show 21 total time. You get used to music volumes and commentaries and PAs. You get kind of sick of it after a while just because the frequency of what I play. So I have it all turned down. I'm sure the crowd volume will get in my head sooner or later. So this is the Inside the Show broadcast feature, guys. Honestly, look through all this stuff, man. Musics, narrators, all this stuff. This is all personal preference. I can't really tell you. I don't even think twice about this stuff. So that's up to you. Excuse me. Now, mode specific. This is skip to next appearance. I'm assuming this is Road to the Show. Yeah, so if you're in Road to the Show, you're playing player locked as your player. It's going to skip to your next appearance, not make you play other people's things, other computers' things. So, yeah. Showtime opportunities on, very fun. It's like high leverage moments. Makes it a little bit more immersive. Player lock button mapping, classic. Yeah, it's basically just like the normal fielding buttons. Player lock fielding opportunities. Adjust the amount of time. Okay, so this is all Road to the Show settings. So, whether I go over this or not. We could do this, I guess. This doesn't say which mode it is, but this looks like Road to the Show to me. I'm surprised it's a little bit wonky. Player lock, fielding opportunities, you can get to pick how many you want to do, or if you want to do all of them, whether you want to run with base running as analog, or the buttons, or whatever you want to do. As a player yourself in order to the show, I like analog, it's more immersive, but most people use buttons because it's just the way you do it online. Up to you, as I said. So the rest of this, guys, like I said, this is all like franchise and road to the show settings, which is I'm not really going to cover too much because it's personal preference. I don't really play those modes. So backing out, you're going to hit B to get out of here. It's going to ask if you want to apply the changes that have been modified. I will be doing so. Now, I'll be back in a second. We're going to hop into some settings to show you guys. We're going to do a little bit of this. I'm going to hop in. I'm going to show you. 1 second. I'm going to show you guys the views, the camera views that I have in action. And I'm going to show you why they're the meta, I suppose, if there's a lack of a better word to describe that. We're going to go into Ship It Stadium, which has been adjusted this year from 3,000 feet of elevation, which is a little bit too much, to 1,200 feet of elevation. That is minty, fresh. Love it. Very dope stuff. That's perfect. 1,200 is a sweet spot. The ball will go, because it's a smaller park too, but it won't be getting a lot of fluke home runs. I actually probably will be playing here to start the year because that is amazing. That is amazing elevation. I'm not sure if they changed any other park, but I think it might have been just Ship It. So now, if you don't know what Ship It Stadium is, it really means nothing to you, but essentially it was the meta park. Everyone pretty much for the most part played there. If you're someone who's a continued player of this game, you're a veteran, you play a lot, you're gonna pick. You see Ship It a lot, trust me. So it's a nice change of pace. I think it's still usable, more than usable, but not too bad. Okay. Let's go into batting. So now, who do I want to use today? Oh, look at all these legends, man. All these legends. We're going to use... Where's my boy? We're going to use good old Lou Gehrig. We're going to face... Not Nolan Ryan. That's not fun. We'll face the new J.R. Richard card. Legend. And we're going to hit... So... we'll go back to our settings right now. So if we go down here, all the way here, we have the PCI center. Remember, we're on zone hitting and then buttons input. Zone buttons. Those are the two. It's up there like I showed you guys earlier. Center, circles. It's all preference. If you want altitude or none in there, or if you want diamonds, I like circles. I like the wedge because I like a little bit of a broken... I like it to be wedged because it kind of makes me feel less choked on the inside part of the plate. I don't feel like I'm getting jammed. Like I said, preference. PCI color, cyan. Preference again. You guys are going to be sick of hearing that word because I already am sick of saying it. PCI transparency, like I said, you know what the word is, guys. All the preference. This is what it looks like in game. Oh my goodness. Okay, got to get used to these pitch speeds. Whew. All right, so we'll go, we're going to dial this back down to just Hall of Fame for a second. And as you know, the difficulties, as you go down on difficulties or as you go lower, the lower difficulties, the PCI is bigger. It gets smaller as you go up in difficulties. But, oh my God, that was a dot. This is what the PCI looks like. This is why I like it. This is the zone hitting, guys. This is what zone hitting looks like. It's that little reticle. You move it around. Pretty simple concept. You want to get the ball in the middle of the PCI and as best as you can with the best possible timing. Oh, and a new feature this year. If you hit a ball in play like that and you want to end the play and you don't want to watch it land because you don't want to get back to hitting, you could just click in on the right stick, click down on it, and it resets the play. I'm pretty sure that's new. I'm going to have to get used to the Switch. Hitting tips video coming soon on the Switch, but not quite yet. Oh, Lou Gehrig. Very early tank. No. Okay, so basically that's the concept. I mean, you guys get it. That's what the PCI looks like. I prefer this one, as you guys can see, with the reticle, with the wedge. I like it to be thicker on the outside as opposed to and thinner on the inside because I just like to be able to feel like I'm not being choked. Inside pitches really get you. They get you feeling some type of way. Oh, I'm contact swinging. All right, yeah. I'm supposed to regular swing. There we go. I was wondering why his bat felt so fast. I'm not used to this controller. The buttons are different because for some reason the Switch and Nintendo like to put A over here as opposed to here. It started with the Nintendo 64 and they've just rocked with it since, and I think it's the silliest thing on the planet, but we'll rock with it. So B is normal swing, which is what you want to do. I recommend that heavily. That's a no doubter, and I didn't even touch it, which is pretty fun as you watch that ball leave. So not much more to explain about that, guys. Settings wise, I rock with this PCI. That's what I like. It's the most competitive one. That's another decent swing, I think. I think it was a home run. Oh, single, it says. And we'll go into pitching real quick. I'll pitch with Tommy Seaver. Yes, we'll have a batter. Excuse me. Oh, Tom Seaver's sinker is his 5th pitch on this card. Okay. They change his motion. What is that motion? Excuse you? That is not Tom Seaver's windup, man. Huh? Oh, boy. He's going to get even more rock than he did last year. Oh, boy. Well, so this is analog, guys. This is what it looks like. As you see the pitch trail, it's that red line showing where the slider is going to break. The PAR, in case you guys want to know what that is, I'll explain it more in the pinpoint video. I already have a pinpoint video from last year. It still applies, but that little circle, that dark circle region around it shows you with perfect input, that is where the ball can go. That's just the RNG. I guess it's sort of like the AOE, the range of where it can end up. Now, pinpoint up top, as you guys see, you just drag this motion as best you can. That's not great percentage. And the better you do, the better the pitch will be. The worse you do, and the worse the pitch will be. It's pretty self-explanatory. Hard to pitch on the Switch right now, man. I'm not used to this. But essentially, that's why I like to do what I like to do. Pinpoint to me is the most fun, as well as the best input source for being rewarded for good input. So that's that. Now let's go into fielding. This shouldn't be too crazy. Fielding practice, a new addition to the game. So if batter be Reggie Jackson, pitching Tom Seaver, and we'll have the hit be to second base. Hit type will be a grounder, and we'll repeat the hit. And that's fine. I'm fielding. What? Did I not do this right? There we go. He's found the ball off. Okay, see? Watch that play over again. That's what it looks like with all of the I like the angle of high there. You know what? High doesn't really show very well there. But there it is. Yeah, yeah. You have the button accuracy. We want to get it in the green. Very simple, very, very simple concept. Get your throws in the green as best you can, as close to the center of the green as you can. If a player has a better fielding or throwing accuracy rating, excuse me, it will be a bigger green section. Pretty simple stuff. The worse their accuracy is, the smaller that green perfect region is. I like high as it shows you right there. You get a better view of the play. Now I'll show you. It's more discernible. Let's go to center field and we'll do fly ball. You guys will see what it looks like to a ball or for a ball on the outfield for the high camera angle. Like this, just like this. This is what it looks like. It's more zoomed out. You get a better view of the play going on. And this year, perfect throws to bases from all parts of the field have been added. So throwing it perfectly from the outfield, you get it in the middle right there. Just like that is a perfect throw to second base, which is super cool. That's why you want to have button accuracy on as a fielder. Now, let's get into that situation again. Well, actually changed up a bit. I want there to be a runner on third base. Yes, I want there to be one out. So I want it to be a bit of a close play. I want to see if I can get a throw over to home. Mickey Mouse got a hose. So let's try and get behind it. Line it up. Not a perfect throw, but you guys will see what it looks like based on button accuracy. Okay, that car. Oh, he's pretty deep. He's pretty deep. He's pretty deep. We'll see if I can get it accurate. It's pretty deep right now. That's not bad. Oh, that little red thing is indicative of a tough play. I'm not sure if I got perfect there. I missed it. But nope, it didn't look like it was perfect. Still got him out there. But guys, you get the point. I like high camera angle so I know what's going on, so I can make a good judgment on what the play is going to be. That was a pretty bad angle to it, but I caught it anyways, and I still threw him out by a hair. I'm going to try and get a perfect throw for you guys. I really want to showcase why it is really important to have... Yes, there we go. And he caught it on his shoelaces. Stands up. Can he still get it? All right. Well, he caught it on his shoelaces, so it kind of screwed me over a little bit there, but you guys get the concept. You want to get that throw as close to perfect as you possibly can. Having perfect throws to all bases this year is a dub. Now it's perfect throw to only to the cutoff man, which is L1. This button right here. You want to throw cutoff. That's the perfect throw there. I guess he couldn't make one to home from that distance. Same deal here. Yeah. I'm going to try and get behind this. Not really. It's a pretty good angle. All right. You guys get the concept. If there's any more questions, guys, please let me know if I missed something. I'm really trying to get nice and thorough with this. I'm not sure if this is the greatest initial breakdown for you guys, but I'll be here all year making content on the Switch. If you need anything, comment down below. It was nice meeting you. If you guys have never seen me before. So, OhChev, once again, that's my name. Call me Chev. If you guys have watched this entire video, type the phrase, "We love the Switch" in the comments. Nothing else. I want to know how many people watched to the end. I appreciate you guys a lot. I will catch you guys next video. Peace.